the values of A, B, and C will be 0, 1, and 0 respectively. A and B will get printed. We can see 0 and 1. Then I have created an user-defined function called addition to add the values. So inside the while loop, that is conditional statements, it will check for the condition. So C, which is 0, will be less than or equal to n. So here n is 8. Yes, 0 is less than or equal to 8. Then 0 plus 1, 1 will happen and 1 will get printed. Then change of inputs. So here it's A, B, and C. Now the value of B will be given to A and the value of C will be given to B. That is, now A and B will become 1 and 1 and C will be 2. So this will get executed until the value of C becomes greater than n, which is 8. So when the value of C becomes 13, it is greater than 8 and hence the loop gets terminated. So having understood the Fibonacci series program, now let's see what are all the various concepts that got covered. So first, print function. Yes, we have print function. Remember the first program in our print. So we are printing A, B, as well as C. Then data types. So here we are using integers, expressions. A plus B is the expression. For variables, we are using A, B, and C. The control statement which we are using here is while statement. And the user-defined function that we are using here is addition. So as you can see, we have summarized all the concepts that we have seen in today's session in the form of a program. So first I am receiving the input, user input for the value n. Then we are using variables A, B, and C, assigning values to them, printing them. Addition is a user-defined function used for performing addition operation. While is the conditional statement used for printing the Fibonacci series. And we are using semicolon inside the loop. So it's optional. And here we are using arrow mark symbol, that is less than hyphen instead of equal to. So all concepts are covered. Let me execute the program one more time for the input 12. So I have executed the program for the value given by Thanos, that is 12, and we are getting the same output. Since 13 is greater than both 8 and 12, we are getting the same output. That is, the while loop gets terminated once the value of C becomes 13. We will try executing one more program, which is factorial of a number, in order to better understand all the concepts that we have seen so far today and to revise them too. Again, let us open the file that has already been created. Open file or Ctrl+O shortcut. I am selecting the file factorial of a number. So let me first tell you what is factorial of a number. Let's take 5 factorial as an example. So factorial means the given number will be multiplied by a value less than it until the value becomes 1. So here it's 5 into value less than 5. Reduce 5 by 1, 4. Then reduce 4 by 1, 3. Then reduce 3 by 1, 2. Reduce 2 by 1, 1. So you should not reduce beyond 1. So 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 is 120. So let's execute the program that we have in RStudio and see whether we get the same output. So we are getting the same output 120. So let me explain how this program works. So initially we get the value of n as user input. Then we assign the value 1 to the variable f. Then we create a user defined function called multiplication, which will perform the multiplication operation. The product of f and n will be returned by this function. We use a while loop which will get executed until the value of n is greater than or equal to 1. So first, when multiplication function is called, the value of f will be 1 and the value of n, here our input is 5. So 1 into 5 is 5. So f becomes 5. Then the value of n is decreased by 1. It becomes 5 minus 1, 4. So 4 is greater than or equal to 1. Then 5 into 4 happens. F becomes 20. Then the value of n becomes 3, which is greater than or equal to 1. And f is now 20. So 20 into n is 3, 60. And it repeats one more time. So n becomes 2. So 2 is greater than or equal to 1. And hence 60 into 2 is 120. Then n becomes 1, which is less than or equal to 1. 120 into 1 is 120. Then n becomes 0. Since 0 is less than 1, the control comes out of the while loop and the value of f, which is 120, gets printed. So here too we can see all the concepts that we have seen so far being used. So first, this print function, we are printing f. Then data types, here we are using numeric data type. Expression is f into n. Then variables f and n. Control statements, again while, user defined function, multiplication. So we have revised what we have seen so far in the form of two interesting programs, namely Fibonacci series and factorial of a number. So we will see what else is left. So we have what is R and what is its purpose, fields using R, and factor variables. I hope you remember what is R. R is a free open source programming language and it's used for three main purposes. One is analytics, which is nothing but finding new patterns in data and deriving insights or meanings which will be of value to us. Then visualization, and finally reporting. Fields using R. So we saw multiple fields or areas where R is used. Can anyone give me two or three fields which we discussed today? You can either unmute yourself and talk, or you can type in the chat window. When I say fields or areas, I am referring to the tech startups like Facebook, cab startups like Ola, Uber, etc. So we saw few more fields or areas. Can you give me two or three other fields or areas in which analytics is used? So we discussed it at the start. Yeah, that's super. Maria has given YouTube, so that is for digital marketing or online advertising. Seema is given bank sectors. Ramji has given Twitter. So once again, that comes under the category of tech startups, Facebook, Twitter, etc. So Kausika has given healthcare. Yeah, that's cool. It's good to see that you people are attentive and participative too. So finally, we have factor variables. So we just now discussed about factor variables, and I have not included a program with factor variables for revision because you being MSc statistics students must be more familiar with factor variables, that is categorical variables are factors. So you know that you know much more than me about ordinal and nominal variables. uh, so I oh, I have guidelines on how to install R and R Studio. So do you people have R and R Studio installed in your systems, or do you want me to guide you on how to do it? Of course, I will share all the documents that we have discussed today to Shaktivel sir, and he will share it to you. But just wanted to know whether you people have R and R Studio installed in your systems. Okay, since you people are silent, I will consider that you don't have R and R Studios installed in your systems. So I will quickly tell you the guidelines or procedure to install R and R Studio. First, I will start with R. Uh, so RStudio is nothing but an IDE, that is integrated development environment. It will make it easier for you to do coding compared to R. So it's just a layer on top of R. So first you have to install R and then you have to install RStudio. We will start with the procedure to install R. So for installation of R, please go to Google and type R-CRAN download. So click on the first link. You will be able to see download for R Windows option. Click on it. Then click on install R for the first time. So since I have installed both R and RStudio in my system, I am unable to practically do it and show it to you. I will just tell you the procedure. So once you click on install R for the first time, you can see the content highlighted on the screen. So download R 4.0.2 for Windows. So the current version that is available is 4.0.3. So when I prepared this document, 4.0.2 was available and hence I have mentioned so. So click on download R 4.0.2 or whichever is the latest version that the website shows for Windows. So the executable file will start getting downloaded. Once downloaded, click on run. So the default language will be English and hence click OK. Then click on next. So you will be asked to select the destination folder. By default, R itself will choose a proper destination folder inside C program files. If you want to install it in some other location, click on browse and give the necessary location. Then click next. So you have to select 32-bit or 64-bit based on your operating system's configuration. So I have Windows 10 64-bit operating system and hence I have unchecked 32-bit. You can select the option based on. Yeah, Nandini has asked, why is RStudio better than R? So Nandini, to answer your question, as I said, RStudio is an IDE. So when I say IDE, it will be better when you do coding. So for example, so when I start typing, it's not numeric. Oh, okay. So when you start typing a function, it will show suggestions. And in the suggestion, you can see what are all the various parameters that can be given. That is, what are all the various arguments, what does it mean, etc. So all these will be available in RStudio and it makes things easier for you. So I see one more question asked. Is there any online platform like Google Colab, sir? So the thing is, R is free. So you can download R and RStudio. Both are free. You can download it in your system and use it. I think there should be an option for R in Google Colab. I will check that and let you know tomorrow. Let me continue with the procedure. So once you select 32-bit or 64-bit, you can click on next. Then you can give whether you want a defaults or customized startup, and defaults will be enough for us. So you can give no, accept defaults, click on next. And finally, if you want to create a desktop shortcut, select that checkbox. My advice to you would be to create a desktop shortcut so that it will be easy for you to start it. Then installation process happens. Okay, can you suggest any books for R language? Well, I have a PDF prepared as notes, so I will share that notes with you at the end of the 3 day session, so you can take a look at it. I will share it with Saktivel sir, and he will share it to you. And installation finishes. So you can see an icon on the desktop. You're welcome, Ganga. So I have 4.0.3 in the desktop. I have the 4.0.3 icon on desktop. So we have seen how to install R. Now we will see how to install R Studio. As I said earlier, R Studio will be placed as a layer on top of R. So first we should install R and then R Studio. For R Studio, type R Studio download for Windows. So I have Windows 10 64-bit OS and hence have typed so. You can type the OS and the configuration based on what you have in your system.